All right. John is joining me today. This is episode 11. I'm going to pull up my notes.
And we don't remember the last session we did, so there's no longer a follow-up.
There is. We're going to cover the last session, but first...
If you got notes, I should probably be able to answer them. But yeah, I don't... It's been a couple months.
Right, yeah. It's been a while. Oh, yeah, I think I can just wing it and we'll figure it out.
Hell yeah.
But first, if you want more episodes and if you want this podcast to be a lot more professional, buy me a coffee at the Buy Me a Coffee app. It's on my Instagram link. My link tree is what it's called. Go to Instagram, Gansfeld Files Podcast on Instagram. I also have a TikTok page that I just created. So if you want to see some video, go there, check that out.
Does that mean I have to finally get a TikTok so I can support this podcast?
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you do it if you want to.
I really don't want to.
I mean, the views that you create really help me out, John.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm probably going to have to fucking do it now.
So, to get us right out of the gate here, I'm going to talk about the movie Nope. We will not be reviewing the movie. Sorry, if you want to go see it, you can. But John and I recently went to go see it.
It is so good.
And yeah, we liked it. But the weird thing that happened was I was buying tickets and I was wearing my Mothman hat. And the guy who sold me the tickets was like, "Hey, do you believe in Mothman?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down with the man of the moth, you know." He's like, "Oh, that's cool," you know, because he said that he's seen Sasquatch before, you know, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Really?" So he's like, "Yeah, ever since that encounter, like I believe in that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm a believer now." So I was like, "Oh, sick!" And then I bought the tickets, and he gave me the receipt, and the receipt had his name was Jonathan as well, and I think this is the same spelling as your name, John.
Nice.
So check that out.
Oh shit! His name is actually spelled the same as mine. That never happens.
And then there was a weird synchronicity.
Super. So for context, my full name is Jonathen, which is highly uncommon. Basically, this quick story on that is I was a very pain in the ass of a birth. About 3 a.m, several hours of labor. And then the nurse asked my mom, "What's the name?" "Jonathan." "How do you want to spell it?" My mom spells it. And the nurse goes, "Well, that's not traditional. Normally it's A-N or O-N. And my mom just yells, "I just birthed him. I know what his name is." And the nurse goes, "Then it's E-N, rock and roll." And fucked off. So it's like, it's not a cultural thing. It's not like some Scandinavian thing that's in my family. It was just full anger fluke, which I like to consider that I was born of rage in that way. But yeah, another Jonathan like that is really uncommon.
It's weird.
Yeah,
right? And then
that's bizarre.
And he was the one that was open at the time at the ticket counter.
Yeah.
I walked to him. He saw my hat.
Did you pitch the show? Hopefully he's listening.
Are
you listening, Jonathan?
I forgot to pitch the show to him. I was such an idiot.
Yep.
You know, like, hey, I have a podcast.
Yeah, we talk about shit
stuff,
like this.
You know? I should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
But we talked about his encounter. He said he saw it like it was yards away, but he could tell it was like a tall humanoid type thing, like super fucking tall.
Fuck that.
You know.
I'd be terrified.
No.
I love this stuff, but if I ever witnessed any of it, I guarantee I'm going to scream like a girl and be like, "Nope, fuck this, nope."
Yeah, nope. Just like the movie we saw.
I did love when he dropped that line, just that first, nope, not doing it, not into this. Just that really strong, confident, not a fucking chance. I'm just going to pretend this doesn't exist, right? This is going to go away. But no.
Yeah, that's fun. The latest news, John, you can tell me if you want to talk about this or not on the podcast, but I would like to get into the ghost that's haunting your workplace's basement.
It's got to the point where all the staff now, anytime something just doesn't make any sense, they're like, "It's the ghost." I was so into it. I was like, "No, man, I think there's a fucking ghost down there. Like, I like this." And everyone's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." And then like I just kept talking about it, and then now they just, I don't think they believe it, but they blame the ghost for everything.
Right.
So basically, I'm a general manager at a bar, and the bars I tend to work at are all very craft beer forward. So there's usually lots of draft lines, lots of changing out new kegs. So I'm always up and down those stairs, hucking kegs around, setting them back up. And it can be timely and gross at times, but I enjoy it. And without like trying to nerd out on all the equipment, there's a valve that turns your gas on and off to your keg, so that when you switch a keg out, you're not burning all your extra CO2 or nitrogen. And so like if you're changing the keg, turn the gas off, do the other things, hook the new keg up, turn the gas back on. There's more steps, but you don't need to know. And so, yeah, sometimes like when you're in a rush, you leave the gas turned off. You forget to turn it back on. You run upstairs because you're busy, and you go to pour the beer. You're like, fuck, I did it again. So you run back down the stairs and reset it. This is not a busy day. And as I set the keg up, I actually started talking to James. We use this like walkie-talkie app to just leave very long wandering brain thoughts in like a voicemail kind of fashion, but you can go back and forth real quick. So I'm talking to James about something else, and I'm staring at the valve that is turned on because I know the gas is on in the tank. And I'm talking about it. So I remember the reason is there's been a couple of times now. It hasn't happened since I called it out, which makes it more mysterious. There's been a couple of times where a keg will kick, which means it's empty, and I'll come downstairs and the gas is already turned off. And this isn't like a system with an auto shut off. There's probably some out there. I've never worked in a bar that had enough money to purchase such a piece of equipment. Yeah. Especially when you got like 30 taps like I do. And not that many I did though. So several times I come down and the gas is already turned off. The issue with that is if the gas is turned off, it shouldn't have been able to pump the beer that it was pumping. Like the reason we know it's empty is because we were pouring a beer upstairs, then the line goes dry. So it's either, okay, something's wrong, or the keg is empty. Run downstairs, keg is empty, and the gas is off. So it shouldn't work that way. It shouldn't be able to pull unless there could be an error in the setup, but there shouldn't be any gas running through the line to pump the beer.
Yeah, and that switch you have to turn it 90 degrees.
You got it's more like a quarter
turn. Yeah, but you would have to physically.
You have to physically turn it. And I even double checked with the general manager whose job I took. She moved on to a new location. I could be like, we don't have like some weird auto shut off shit, right? That I'm just unaware of. She's like, no, absolutely not. So this is one of the kegs where the gas was turned off when I went downstairs. So initially thinking the keg is still got something in it, gas was off. Turn the gas on, go to reset it. Keg is fully empty. So I'm like, okay, fine, cool. That's a weird fluke. Yeah. Take the keg off, do the things I told you, turn the gas on. At this point, this is when I'm talking to James. Like, hey, it's weird. This gas keeps turning itself off when the keg is empty somehow. So I'm joking that it's a ghost. And I'm staring at the valve. The valve is 100% on as I'm talking about it. Go upstairs. We pour a couple of beers. Not like it went up and the line isn't pouring anything. Like to get a fresh keg of beer, the beer has to go all the way up and through these like long winding lines of tubing to get up to the draft line, depending on how your bar is set up. That could be very long and it can take an effort. So there's no way the beer should have been able to leave the tank and get upstairs. I get up, I pour a couple of drafts off of it, then the line goes dead again. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Thinking maybe there's like, if you get extra gas in the line, that can happen. So I run back downstairs and the valve is turned the fuck back off. And I was like, I know I was just talking to James about this. I know it's staring. So now I message him again. I'm like, yo, the thing I was just telling you about just did it again. I then spent the rest of my shift, anytime I went downstairs, immediately recording video, talking to James and trying to catch it happening again. It didn't. And then something happened where I like provoked the ghost and it got mad at me or some shit. What the hell happened?
I think you went down there and you were like, "Oh, do it again," or something. Like you tried to get it to do it.
Yeah, I started talking to James on the voice message and trying to also talk to the ghost. And at one point, when it wasn't happening again, I started like shit talking the ghost, and then something else happened.
It's something like leaked, or it like got onto like beer spilled on the floor or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was another one. There's something like that. It was like I think one of the kegs wasn't tapped correctly. Which I rarely fuck that up. And usually if you do, it's like you'll push it down and then you'll just get a face full of like an explosion of beer that just hits you in the face because you like push down before you can seal it. This was like partially sealed, partially off, and beer is just flooding out of the tank, like between the coupler and the tank seal and all over the ground. So then I quick yanked that off, turned the gas off, cleaned it up, reset it. pop it back down, no big deal. But that was my response to like, oh, I pissed the fucker off. Like I was trying to antagonize it into doing something, which is like never the right move, but because every time we try to do like ghost shit, I never really get anything. So then I'll start being like, well, fuck it. Now I'm gonna provoke you for better or worse.
You did the Zach bag.
Yeah, I did the Zach. Bro ghost. Ghost bro, come on, fucking bro. We just want to be your bros, ghost. Yeah, I did that kind of shit, but like with my Chicago ass attitude. Yeah. So yeah, pissed a ghost off. It hasn't happened since. Nothing else. So maybe I hurt its feelings and I need to go apologize and we can be friends.
Probably. I mean, you probably made it mad, so it spilled beer all over the floor. So
yeah, that's never fun. It's a waste of money. It's a problem to clean up. It's always a pain in the ass.
But we were voxing back and forth, and I was asking you, when that switch was being turned, is it a help to you or a hindrance?
What do you mean?
When you went down
like
there,
if the ghost was turning it off before, like when the keg was empty.
Yeah,
that would be a help. That's one.
Yeah, that would be a help to you.
Yeah. So if I come down, and I first thing I would do is there's like a thing you can press and it'll pump beer out of the keg, but it just goes into a drain basically, and so that's how you like basically prime your lines. So you would first just press that trigger, see if the lines are staying full, it just means there's a hiccup, you keep going. If it's empty, there'll be a lot of gas and gurgling and shit. So you like turn the gas off and then you open this other valve to this little bobber looking thing, reset everything and close them all back. So you like, it's a step in the order. And also like it's just pushing, it's like pressurizing an empty tank. So you don't need all that gas pushed into that tank at that point. So if you're not using the line, you turn the gas off. So in a sense, it's like a ghost who is a bar manager who's just like, I can do one step for you. I'll at least do this for you.
Yeah.
So it was helpful and almost knowledgeable, which is really entertaining. And then he fucked me.
Yeah, because you yelled at him.
Oh yeah,
you're not real.
No, fuck you.
Yeah.
Do something, bitch. Yeah, this is why I want our Discovery Channel ghost show where we'll do Gansfeld experiments on site, because it's eventually gonna be like, fuck you, little bitch, let's go, let's do something, and then I shit my pants and run away.
Yeah,
it'd be really entertaining. I'm really loud, and also I freak out pretty regularly. So
yeah, dude, let's pitch it to the Travel Channel.
Come on, Travel Channel, get on this bullshit.
So I think that's what happened. It was like helping you out all night, because it knows like what the steps are.
Yep.
And then once you provoked it, it was like, all right, fuck this. I'm going to knock this keg over and say, fuck, I'm leaving.
Now he's doing something else. There's always something going horrible. Like the other day, middle of service, or one of the TVs just stopped working. Whenever you press, like the cable box is on, and the LED of the TV shows that it's off. So it's like illuminated red showing off. So there is power to the TV. Right. And every time we'd press power, it would start to turn on, like the LED would turn blue, and then it would just shut back off to red. And the bartender and I couldn't get it done, and he goes, fucking ghost, and walks away. So now we just blame the ghost for everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in effect, you've made the ghost mad. Now it's like breaking shit in your bar.
Yep.
So
I'm also hoping if it wasn't initially a ghost, that if I can create that narrative in everyone's mind in the bar, that will slowly manifest a ghost.
Like a tulpa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick
Thought
too.
form. Yeah.
I've never had a good ghost interaction, so.
Speaking of thoughts and thoughts forms.
I hate thinking.
You brought me to my next point. Back so long ago, during episodes 1 and 2, we discussed your first time ever doing the Gansfeld. We were on some supplements, and you said that you were able to pick up on other people's thoughts.
Yeah,
and then these thoughts were coming to you as someone's internal dialogue. So my question to you now, since you were able to eavesdrop on their thoughts, do you think that you could have manipulated those thoughts in that moment?
I think there's a possibility, maybe not if so much as maybe manipulate, but interact with them. I wonder, because they became just making noises in the mic. It became increasingly more. At first, I couldn't really make it out. It was more like kind of just noise, like when you can hear someone talking, like if you're in an apartment, then you can hear people in the apartment talking next door, but you can't make out a word, but you can hear the vocal patterns of a conversation, and oftentimes you can pick up like, oh, they fighting again, or whatever. Like you can pick up on that. I think intonation maybe is the correct word. So at first it just kind of started as that, like you heard like the rhythm of conversation, and then they slowly started to become words. So it was kind of like I was, my proximity to that was closing in. Then I could pick up on the thoughts, but they were erratic. And it felt like because in your head, you don't need to explain clearly. Like you know what you're saying to yourself, even if it's kind of gibberish in your own, or like whatever, however you kind of converse with yourself. And I wonder if I can get to that point again where the proximity is a lot closer, that if I can, instead of just trying to listen, try to push in and, like you said, maybe manipulate it, or maybe communicate with it, like try to talk and see if it changes where they're at in their own thoughts. Because I imagine if I was just thinking and just like a question popped into my head, I wouldn't be like, oh, someone's doing the Gansfeld and they're popping into my brain. You're just gonna be like, well, that was a really random thought or question that popped into my head. I wonder if if I could provoke question that they would then get caught on. But I also wonder, like the thing that I described was that it didn't feel like my inner monologue. Like I couldn't describe to you what my inner monologue is, but since I've been doing it for 35, nearly 36 years, I feel like if my thoughts, like that's why I knew it wasn't mine. Like the pattern was off, like the communication was off. So I wonder if I did push through as well, that they might be like, that didn't feel right. Like that's what was, I understand I heard that question or whatever, but that felt foreign. I wonder if they would pick up on that as well.
That is a good question. Because my thing would be like to test something out. Like if you were able to do it again, let's say, if someone's thought pattern was like I said, hopping from one topic to the other, and then they were suddenly like, well, I don't really like this person. I don't like what they did. And maybe you put the thought into their mind, like maybe they're not so bad. Maybe, and just to see if you could change that thought pattern.
Like a new form of psychotherapy, but more like psychonaut therapy.
Possibly. I mean, this is has been tested and proven in the remote viewing community in the 70s when the government was doing it. So it is technically possible. I don't know the extent. I don't think you could. I don't know if you could fully like take control of someone's mind. You might be able to like kind of turn them in a different direction, possibly. But I don't know. I mean, the practical application of that would be, I guess, to prevent them from doing some harm to themselves. I don't know. This is just, it's all theoretical.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe.
That's why we like doing this, because there's no clear answers. We're making it up. It's kind of a trip, because we always talk about with this podcast that there's no real, like there are some reference points, but they're very dated, and the length of study was pretty limited, like at least with the government. There's now communities and almost like schools that have cropped up from the people, a part of that initial community, who are trying to do more with this and actually do like studies. Yeah. But we're not really getting a whole lot of that from them. That seems like they keep it a little closer to the chest. So yeah, we don't have any reference point of, oh, well, we want to do this, and someone's already kind of done that, so let's build. And we just throw as much shit at a dartboard and see what kind of works.
Yeah, that's a lot of this podcast is just experimentation. And there's not much out there. Like all the experiments from the 70s is all just on like articles that you can read, and then there's not much, because all they were testing to see is if one person in one room could pick up on a person looking at pictures. Yeah. So we've been doing stuff that is a little bit outside of that. Yeah. It's very strange. And there's like a handful of YouTube videos or TikTok videos where people are trying it out.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm getting a TikTok.
There's a handful of people who have done it. But it's still pretty, new, and
you know what you should do is you gotta really get invested into those goggles you've been tinkering with, so you can find the exact right way to do it, and then get the copyright and the patent on it fucking get the Gansfeld Files logo on there and sell that shit to people.
Dude, yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Kickstarter.
That'd be sick.
There we go. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Get LEDs to change colors, see what different wavelengths do to you.
Oh my God, yeah. We got to try different colors, different things. I would. Another one of the thing I wanted to test was getting certain tones. There's a tone generator you can get online, and I want to like lay that over some white noise and have someone do the Gansfeld.
Oh, I'd love to do that. That'd be fun.
That'd be fucking sick. Yeah. Moving on. Next topic. We're gonna jump to we didn't cover episode 9. We didn't do a breakdown of that, so I think we'll jump into that. But first we're gonna take a little break, so enjoy these ads. Yay. There we go. Okay, now we're back. All right. We're back from our break. Shout out to Kevin Black, who is currently in the other room with Samu. Samu's doing an hour-long session in there. So that'll be another episode. Check out episode 12 when we figure out what that was all about. Maybe he baked his brain like those 90s commercials. And like, this is your brain on drugs. Yeah. Maybe he's a fried egg by now.
Yeah, we've never done anywhere close to an hour. I think the most we've done is about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's as much as we could take. Yeah. It's about 20, 30 minutes. Yeah.
We usually set a 20-minute timer. And several times, I know I have, and I think you have too, where like, as you can tell, like someone's about to bring you out of it, or they do, you're like, nope. You just give them the one finger. It's like, yeah, I'm going to sit in this.
Yeah.
I want to see where this goes. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
But we've never gone anywhere past 30 to 40.
Yeah. Last episode with Kevin, I was doing a session, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. And I just took the things off, and he's like, I was about to tap on your leg.
Yep.
He's like, the timer just went off.
Yep.
You know, I was like, wow.
I had that the last one too, the one that we're not going to go back over because we can't remember it at the moment. Maybe we'll just re-listen to the whole thing and then talk about it. But yeah, I did the same thing. I was still going. I had said like something happened, and then it just went away, and I could be like, it's just done. Like it just felt like whatever. Like someone turned the TV off.
Right.
That was it.
That can definitely happen when you're doing a session, and that happened in episode 4 as well. You were definitely locked into something. There was some kind of entity speaking to you, and then it was like, okay, we're done, and just kind of ushered you out.
Yeah, but it feels like it feels almost like you've overstayed your welcome. Like you saw the movie, the lights are up, and now the fucking dudes are cleaning up the popcorn off the ground. You're like, I probably should fucking go. Like I don't need to be here any longer. It felt like that. You're like, I could stay. No one's yelling at me to leave, but it's pretty apparent that whatever was being like passed on to us, or given to us, projected to us, is like, nope, end of show. Like, come back later.
That's what happened on episode 9 as well. When you were done with your session, we did 2 sessions. I went first, and then John went. Actually, technically, he went 2 times. I went once. But when you came out of your second session, you were like, "I'm done. This is it.
Yep,
I'm out." And then we had we had that same thing happen again, where we were both on mushrooms, but the trip just ended.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah, there's I think it was episode 4, that same one, and then I think at least the next time me and you did it. Yeah. And like we've talked about it before, mushrooms they like to be a slow slide. Like you'll know when you peaked because you're like, I feel fucking nuts. Like I'm seeing crazy shit in my brain. Physically, you can kind of feel it. Like your feels almost uncomfortable. Like you're like foreign in your own skin. Yeah. And then you're like. Then maybe like the physical stuff will pass, and then this will pass, and then the visions aren't as stark, and you're like, well, now I'm just kind of like extra like stoned high. I'm no longer like super mushroom like bouncing around, but it's like a slow slide, and then you'll be like, oh, I think it's done, and then you'll go do something like, nope, it's still kind of happening. Like making food right now is challenging. That for us, those 2 times, it just definitively. Mushrooms were done. And then the one that we didn't record because we were having all the tech issues, you tripped out for like 5 hours.
I kept going.
And I like started to go and then hard shut down like in an hour's time. I've never had that happen.
It's so weird. It's weird to like, you know, because we've done mushrooms plenty of times before even starting the podcast. Yeah. So we know what it feels like. But then you mix in these supernatural elements, and all of a sudden you're just cut off from the trip. Yeah. That's weird.
That's very strange. It doesn't work like that.
It's almost as if like the mushrooms and the Gans will give you like this this window to peek into someone else's world, and they just shut the window.
And they're in the mushrooms are kind of feel like, we've called it the lubrication a couple of times, but it also feels like sometimes it's creating the link. So when the link, whatever it's linked to, says we're done, the mushroom's like, well, so are we. Like, shut her down. She's like, wait, what? That's not what happens here. Like, this is in the last year is the first time I've ever had strong mushroom conclusions. It's never happened before.
It doesn't just stop like that.
No.
It never has.
No.
And like LSD is the same way. In mushrooms, it is a slow tapering off. You slowly come down off of them. Not an abrupt, I'm sober.
And they'll last for a while, like a residue of it. Like, even if you're not tripping, you still kind of have maybe the euphoric feeling, maybe a little bit of body weirdly sensitivity, maybe a little bit of vision. Like, things will be moving a little bit weirder in the corner of your vision. And it'll last, like, we'll think we'll be done. I'll hop on my bike to ride home, and then I'll be like, oh no, I'm still kind of feeling this shit.
It's still kind of goofy.
Yeah, it sticks around for a while.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I noticed too, from episode 9, there was a definite sense of like vibes. So like the energy that you put out while you're doing this thing is the same kind of energy you're going to get back. Yeah. I noticed that. And also with episode 10 with me and Kevin, I noticed that setting an intention before you go in is also helpful. So if you say, well, this time I want to see something crazy, you have that intention set in your mind before you go in, and then you'll get that thing back. Yeah. Because if you say like, oh, I want something more interactive, I want to interact with these things or something like that, that's your intention before going in. So you will get that sort of trip while you're doing it. So setting an intention is important.
It's kind of like setting, like if you're trying to go somewhere, like you want to set a location, at least some general concept. Because I like, if you don't, I guess what's a good analogy for that? Like if you don't have a purpose of like what you're working on a painting, if you don't have a clear vision,
like a theme,
it's just going to kind of wander, and you might never land anywhere. You might just go, well, this isn't working. And I think it's the opportunity is too broad. So whatever, like the potential links to be made are too wide and not as located, I guess. Like it's the options are too vast. But at least if you can kind of throw a bit of a filter on there of like, I'm looking for these kinds of things, it kind of can maybe narrow down and make the link more opportunistic. Right. Yeah. I don't know.
Reaching back to episode 9. So we started, we took our mushrooms. Supplements. And then we waited about 40 minutes, and then we jumped into it. Like, as soon as I put the headphones on, as soon as I put the red light on me, I immediately was met with all of these beings surrounding me. Like it was immediate as soon as I started. And it was overwhelming because it felt like all of them were just surrounding me all at once. I was reclined in the chair, so I was like leaning back, and it felt like they were all looking down at me.
Yeah, I had the same experience.
Yeah, you had the same experience in episode 4. Yeah, it was the same sort of thing. These beings were definitely like alien in nature. They were wearing some sort of mask, which was, I couldn't tell if the mask was ceremonial or like a breathing apparatus or something like that. I couldn't tell. But they were definitely wearing some sort of mask. And then I was telling them that they were like crowding me. Their energy was just way too much because they were all really excited that I was there.
And you were getting overwhelmed. It was very obvious.
I was getting overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, this is too much. So I was able to pick up on their emotions, and when you're able to pick up on someone's emotions and then multiply that by like 20 or 30, all of that coming at you at once is overwhelming. It's a lot. It's really intense. So I had to kind of mentally tell them to step back. After I did that, after a while, this like authority figure came and had everybody move away from me. So, and there was this one that I was focusing on.
How could you tell he was the authority figure?
One, I got this kind of like mental sense of it. Two, he was wearing some sort of emblems or something like that on his chest that signified rank or something like that. His mask was a little bit different. Maybe it was the only one I could really focus on, but his mask had 3 portholes on the side, like going down. So it was like 1, 2, 3, all on the right side of his face. That was his mask setup. And again, everybody could have had the same mask. I just couldn't tell. Like his was the most clear. And he was the one that kind of like, I say he, but I don't even know. It could be, they have gender. I don't know if they have it.
Gender's a construct. Doesn't fucking matter.
So it could be they, I don't know.
I think we should just call everybody dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dudes. There's no gender.
Dudes.
I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes.
Alien
It's
dudes.
just no more gender, just dude.
Just dude. It's all dude. But
this big muscular dude was yelling at this other dude with great tits, and it was just
that dude is hot. But yeah, he stepped forward and was like communicating with me, and I got the sense that there was a lot of excitement. This was an experiment that went well for them, that went great, because they have actually connected with a different species, and they were super psyched about it. They were trying to show me their city, but it kind of
that's cool.
Yeah, it looked
also
like
how trusting of them.
Yeah, I know. It's like, hey,
they showed up to our fucking
shit.
spot, just land in the middle of the park and be like, blow that up, shoot that now. And they're like, yo, check it out. Come in, meatbag. Like, let's hang.
They took me to a part of town which I get the sense they were communicating to me that where tourists go. Oh. This is the place where people come and, they want to check it out. And
you were like, take me to the red light district. Fuck that tourist shit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was like,
what's your space drugs like?
I want to try space drugs.
Obviously.
It's so cool. What an opportunity,
I'll take whatever you got. I don't know.
Yeah, they were showing me like their city. So I was in like some sort of like lookout tower, and I was looking down at the city, and it just looked like a circuit board. I had no idea what I was looking at.
Cool.
Yeah.
What kind of were the beings more like more like us, more meaty? Were they more robot-y? Were they more like...
They were humanoid.
Humanoid-ish?
Yeah, they seemed corporeal. They didn't seem like they were robots or anything like that. Again, it's just
not like some ephemeral spirit ghost thing.
Yeah, they were solid for sure. But they had these masks on them, and I don't know if the masks were ceremonial or if they were some sort of mechanism that helps them breathe or something like that. I don't know.
Did you ever try to look up, describe the map or the mask on Google and see if you could find anything?
Yeah, I tried to look it up. I couldn't.
We should try and I'll try and if you break down the look, I'll try and draw it up for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you have you're a better artist than I am. So
don't give me too much credit.
I will, John. I am going to give you credit.
Thank you.
But yeah, the city just looked like a bunch of blobs and random stuff. I had no idea what I was looking at. It looks like a city, like there's a building here and there, but I couldn't really tell you.
Was it like a really dense, like a Chicago, or more like a rural kind of small?
It was like Chicago. Oh, so it was a little bit more, upscale, and there was definitely like a lot of different buildings there, but it was really hard to understand what I was looking at. So you can imagine like this stuff is being pumped into my brain from a different like galaxy, universe, planet, maybe even like plane, and like my brain is trying to process all this stuff. Yeah. So it's like sometimes it's like
trying
really
to put it into a logic that makes sense to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was definitely the authority figure stood up and like I kept getting the word in my mind, ambassador. So I think it's like they're trying to use the language that I understand, which is English, to communicate meaning. But again, it was really hard to understand. Plus, it's like you're flying high on mushrooms, so everything's really difficult.
Yeah, everything's hard.
But they were super excited that it actually worked. So I'm assuming that they have attempted this in the past. I don't know if they're capable of like interstellar flight. So that might be why they're doing this experiment. So there was a mental telepathy thing going on with them. And again, I don't know if they could be in Proxima Centauri, or they could be in a different dimension altogether. I really don't know.
Yeah, we don't have answers for
I
anything.
have no answers.
No. Yeah, that's the ongoing argument we keep having is like, is this like space travel? Like, are we staying within our dimension, or are we breaking through into others? Yeah. And like that's even kind of the debate of sometimes why a lot of times we have no good description for what's going on, but we internally feel what we're witnessing. Like, oh, this just looks like a fucking blob, but I'm getting this personality projection, this vibe off of them. It's kind of like, even when you see an animal, like you can't speak to it, but you can usually tell like that thing's mad. You know, it feels kind of like it kind of feels like that. You're like, okay,
it's an angry blob over there.
That blob's pissed. We pick up on it, but it's like it's non-linear, and it's almost like our senses are not equipped to really process the entirety of it. So we're getting, I imagine this is kind of like being a lesser creature on Earth. Like their senses aren't in the same way as ours, so they can perceive us completely differently, or like can't see what we're seeing, or vice versa. It's like that. There's like a misconnection somehow in senses.
Yeah. So, forgot where I was going with that.
Traveling, Ghost Blobs, Ambassador, Circuit Board City.
Okay. Now I get it. Circuit City. That's where I was.
Rest in peace.
So on episode 9, Kevin was mentioning that when he was doing the Gansfeld experiment, he had these faces or entities that would appear, and they appeared like demonic faces.
Yeah,
and
he always gets like crazy, scary shit.
I know, right?
Yeah,
that's what's going on with Kevin.
Well, that's why we got a show to talk about it. You know?
But yeah,
zombie faces and clowns and just horrifying shit.
Yeah, there was like an eye. It was a face, and its eye opened and looked directly at him, and then just kind of floated away. And then later on, I brought it up to him. I was like, "All right, look." So
I had another almost falling asleep eye again, and I haven't had
you had
it in a while,
another eye,
but it was a woman's eye.
Holy
I've never had a woman's eye. It always
shit.
seems more masculine.
Okay.
Yeah, this time it was different, and even the way it opened felt different. Like normally it's kind of it's like just a slow opening in like a blank space. Like it's kind of like feels like gurgly, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. This one felt a little bit more sharper and smaller, and then just this feminine eye just hit right into it. I like jumped back, even though I'm laying down, I like jumped back into my pillow, and then I lost it. I like kind of could toy and almost get it back, and I never got it back.
Wow. Okay, so this was, you could tell it was feminine because of how it looked, or was it the energy that it had?
I might be picking up a little on the energy too, because it was such a narrow focus, but the eye had more of a sharp, thinner, sharper, almost kind of like how women draw like the cat eye shape on their eyes. It was a little bit more of that. Yeah. And I think also the little bit of like almost cheekbone I got kind of gave me that feeling too.
Did you get a sense of skin tone?
Yes and no. It's always a lighter skin tone, but I don't want to be like, it's a white person. It's more, it's hard to say. Like the skin tone is less obvious. It feels less, because like Caucasian feels a little bit more human. This little feels almost adjacent. So skin tone almost feels difficult to process, but definitely a lighter tone.
So it's like human adjacent.
Yeah.
But not quite human.
Not quite, yeah.
That's interesting.
But it's such a narrow focus. It's really hard to pick up. And it's also, when it happens fast. It's not what I'm expecting, and it always jars me. So I'm always playing this game of trying to hold on to it and focus on it, but passively, because the more I try, like then my blood pressure goes up, or like it takes me out of the meditative state.
Right. Could it be Pleiadian?
Explain what that means. You're the host. You know this nerd shit. I'm just here for the ride.
It's the Pleiadian is a form of it's an alien, but they're a humanoid alien. I think they're supposed to be like 8 feet tall or something like that. And they're supposed to be like really attractive and beautiful. And
there's definitely sirens that don't go anywhere near them. No, I have not heard of those. Quite possibly, yeah. Like I have no gauge on anything beyond that.
Yeah.
That just sounds like some alien nerds jerk off material. That doesn't sound like a real theory. It's just like I'm obsessed with aliens and I can't get a girlfriend, and now I jerk off to aliens.
Yeah,
with boobs.
I joked about it because I'm like, I constantly am like researching this stuff, and I come across stuff, and I'm like, that just sounds insane.
Oh yeah, I have a hard time. I love doing shit within like the quote unquote paranormal world.
Yeah,
and I would love to have the opportunity to do more. I'd love to go ghost hunting shit. I'd love to go squatch hunting. Like I'd love to find opportunity to go with people that are more in line with that work, like the specialists. Like we can do the Gansfeld shit, but then do Gansfeld with people who do the rest of these things. Like you're the ghost hunter, you're the alien guy, you're the cryptid dude.
Yeah.
We gotta stop saying guys. We're limiting. There's plenty of cryptid women cryptid hunting women.
There you go.
I'm not a sexist, damn it.
Persons,
dudes. To go out with them to do our thing within their line of work. But at the same time, I'm like the biggest. I'll be on Reddit's paranormal and almost every post going, fuck off, dude. Like, I think I had a paranormal experience and I need your help. And it's always the same bullshit. Like, it opened my door and then it crawled under my bed. I'm like, again, this is porn. This is you guys having weird paranormal fantasies. Yeah. This is not you guys actually witnessing this shit. You guys are just bored and writing fan fiction. It drives me nuts. Yeah. But I'm still obsessed with it. I still would love to be more plugged in. I just got to get past all this like jerk-offy bullshit. Let's actually go on a fucking squatch hunt and go lock me in a haunted house or some shit.
Yeah. We gotta.
You know what I mean, Kevin Black?
Take the road. Yeah. There's Kevin.
I've never related more to something in my entire life.
To what he's doing? You want to fuck a ghost?
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
I'm with you. I'm gonna take him out in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Cool. That sounds good. Yeah. Cool. But yeah. So and I'm always afraid of that too. Like someone's gonna be like the Gansfeld files. These guys are insane.
Fucking nerds.
What are you talking about? You're crazy.
Anyone in the right mind should listen to this and be like, these guys are fucking nuts and they take too much mushrooms.
Yeah.
I understand that, but that's why you should listen.
Yeah, but I get it though. If I were to tell somebody this and they're like, "You're crazy," you know what you're talking about, I'll be like, "Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
correct.
That's fair."
Not a doctor.
I always encourage people, like, if you're skeptical, just try it.
That's the fun. That's why I like doing it, because I'm a massive skeptic.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of this shit.
Yeah.
But that's why I like it. I like to be proven wrong. I don't know if you've noticed this, Jam. I love to argue. And it's not always about being right. A lot of times, like, come at me, man. Like, make me wrong.
You're
like,
having a good time.
I'm having a good time. I want you to work on me, man. I find that shit fun. So yeah, I would love to have the Gansfeld files, being skeptical in the field, and just I'd love to be shocked and shown things that I never could perceve.
Hell yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna find a skeptic out there.
You got one.
I'm gonna get you. So yeah, back to the point I made with Kevin. So he was saying that he's in the Gansfeld. He's seeing these like faces, and they're really like demonic and crazy looking. And I was like, well, did they attack you? Mm-hmm. And he said no. And I was like, okay, well, just think about it this way. It's like you're in their world.
Yeah.
You've traveled to their dimension. So if they're just looking at you, they're probably like, what is that?
Who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
What is that?
Get here?
It's just the same thing. There were similarities to episode 4 where you were in definitely a different place, and probably the wrong place, because they were just like, who the fuck is this? Who invited this guy? Why are you here? In fact, why do you look like that? Why do you look
Valid
so
question,
pink and weird? Like if someone like us who are just corporeal and human just show up one day and someone else is plane, they're going to be like, what the hell are you doing? And as soon as you talked about them, they got in your face, and they're like, who are you talking to? Who are you telling about us?
Why are you describing me?
Yeah, so they got a little bit paranoid. They got a little, I think they got a little bit,
understandably.
Yeah, because this guy is just like, imagine like a Russian spy just appeared in your living room and it was like reporting back. He'd be like, what are you doing?
He's currently looking at me. He does not look happy. He's coming closer to me. I think I'm endangered. Who are you talking to? Yeah, he's definitely mad at me.
Control?
He's asking me questions, I think.
I think you need to pull me out.
He
now.
looks like
Control.
a ginger and an asshole. I'm not sure.
But yeah, that was, yeah, I definitely saw similarities there. And I was like, if they're not attacking you, then don't worry about it. They're probably just checking you out. And like, if they look weird or ugly or scary, that's probably just how they look in that dimension.
Well, yeah.
You know,
everything's scary that doesn't look like us. That's literally embedded into our DNA.
Yeah.
That's why the Cro-Magnons and the Neanderthals killed each other. They were very similar, but just enough different.
Yeah. Let's jump forward and talk about our jump in time. The last time we did. So.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So
that didn't make any fucking sense. I couldn't figure that shit out.
To set the scene, what I experimented with, I tried to get John to move forward mentally in the Gansfeld to try to pull out like the winning lottery numbers. I know how it sounds.
Hey, you got to try it, man. No one can fault us for trying.
I was like,
we're gonna try it again too.
Yeah.
Fuck Patreon. We're doing psychic lottery bullshit.
I'm gonna try to win the lottery.
Yeah, dude. I'm not waiting for you guys to give me $1 a month. I want $5 million now.
You could have $5 in ad revenue, or you could have $5 million.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, if I did win the lottery, this is what I would do. I would just keep like just on a bigger scale. I would do it.
Do it a couple times to piss him off.
Yeah.
Like, you guys gotta stop winning. I don't know, man. I didn't do anything. Fuck you. Pay me.
But yeah, and the instruction I gave him was like, move your mind in like a week ahead of time, and try to pick out those numbers. And I had these picture associations with it. Okay. I think we're back. Yeah, looks like we're back. Okay. Different system.
Tech issues.
So yeah, I had you move your mind a week ahead of time. And then when that whole session was done, we ended up missing time. Physically in our world. So, which was odd. I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah, it was a little fractured.
We were like, wait, wasn't it just 9:30 and it was like 11 o'clock?
Yeah, that was because I was on when I got into the chair and I was waiting for you to get all the tech set up. I was on my phone because like we had just gone from recording to a session, so I wanted a quick text. I think I was just texting like my girlfriend, or maybe a couple of work texts. Right? So I was quick firing the texts off, and I looked at the clock. I wish we had reference to this now because I want to give it. I wish it was specific. Right. And it was like, let's say, I think it was like 9:01. It was like very early 9 o'clock, and we were going to do a 20-minute session, and I pushed it a little bit longer, but like 5 minutes more. And like we talked briefly before, like right around the time I texted, we briefly talked. Then I got in. There was like maybe 10 minutes there. And then when I did the session, which 25 minutes, it was suddenly like 10:30. And we tried to like map it out. It was like, okay. And I like looked at my text. I was like, okay, the text sent at this exact time, which means we must have started around this time. So we would end it at this. And then we talked for 10, 15 minutes tops after the episode or after the recording. And then it was like 10:30. And we calculated that it was about 45 minutes that we could not account for. And the moment I sat down on the couch to talk about what just happened, I was like, it felt way later than it should have been. Like you've been at work or playing a video game or something, and just time flew by. But like because everything is in a somewhat of a structured time scale, it wasn't. We couldn't have just like forgotten for 45 minutes. That's a stark amount of time.
That's weird. Yeah.
And we couldn't. We talked about it at quite a length to figure out how, and we couldn't come up with an answer. We just knew it was 45 minutes. And when I came home, I told Katie the same thing because I was texting her. Same thing. Couldn't account for it. It would just somehow there was just trying to like push my mind forward. Somehow fucked up, like moved us or just I don't know. I have no answers for any of it.
Yeah.
And that one was entertaining too because, so like you said, you were trying to use because it wasn't like I was going to go in the session and then just see the numbers. That we were looking for, and even if like, it's never that literal, and even if we did, like it never would have been in a way that we could have put the numbers in any sort of order.
Right.
So we were just shooting in the dark, see what happened. And I like started. I was in the forest, like laying down on my belly. It was dark, very like in the deep forest. And then I thought I felt a bear on top of me. And it was like his belly was like at my face and sniffing around me. And then it turned into like a spider. And then I was leaving the woods and it was like looking on some like fantasy world, like Lord of the Rings level, like scenic plain where like the forest is behind me. You can see that stretching on the distance, this big swooping plain going down from where I was, mountains in the background. And then I was at the mountain face and it was like some like Mount Doom looking shit, like sharp, jagged, black rock faces going up. And then there was a castle up there. And then the castle was actually like like the access to a dwarf, like mountain dwarf kingdom that we went down into, and then I found a dragon. So all this really fantasy forward, and like I originally described it as I felt like I was more of like a frontier, like trapper or something like that through the forest, and then it morphed into fantasy. So obviously none of this shit worked with us trying to find those numbers. It was none of the imagery lined up. But you were trying to find. You didn't really tell me what I was looking for in a week. You were just saying, I need you to look towards this coming like Friday or something like that. And then when we got to that Friday, the only thing we did, and it was unplanned, was either we played D&D or talked about D&D in length. So I didn't land what you were seeking a week out, but I landed where we would, and it wasn't like I knew that D&D would be on that day. Nothing had been scheduled for it. So we just landed, and then D&D was the core topic. So it's kind of like I still made that reach. I still got that week distance, but I was not looking for what you were hoping I would find. So it was kind of like I achieved it. It was bizarre.
So right now we're gonna take a little break. We come back. We're gonna wrap it up. I see Samu's out of the chamber.
Out of the chamber, crushing a beer. What's up, Low Res Brewing? Love those guys. That's a fun can.
Yeah. All right. Taking a break. Here we go. Off. All right. Now we're back. We're gonna round out this episode. Check out Samu. He's gonna be on episode 12. This is episode 11. John, thank you again for being on the show.
Always.
Awesome that you're here. So
you got Kevin Black coming after that. But after Samu's episode, correct?
I don't know.
When he's here, we should get him back in the chair, man.
We'll get him back.
Why
in the
waste
chair.
it?
Yeah. Probably episode 12. We have to recap because Samu just did an hour-long session, so we're gonna take a look at that. We'll probably have John in the chair for episode 12, and probably Kevin. See what happens. So that's it for this episode. Check me out on Instagram. Also, check out my Buy Me a Coffee link if you want to support the show. That'll be more episodes and more fun stuff.
And the TikTok.
Check out the TikTok page. There's 3 videos up there right now. I'm getting a lot of traction, getting some visibility, which is awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, support the show. Any last words, John?
Check out the show. Watch for James when he does live stuff, and stay creepy.
Stay creepy. All right. Later.